Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen. And guess who's coming to dinner? My son Jamie just got engaged. Woohoo! And it's time to meet the parents. And I have to say, I really am a little bit nervous. So I'd like to invite y'all in to see what I'm cooking. I'm gonna be whipping up this spread in my other son Bobby's kitchen. And he said it's okay, but promise not to snoop, Mama. Finger foods are on the menu today. And first, we're going to be making engagement ring finger sandwiches that are savory, satisfying, and just sure to break the ice. And then next, I'm going to be fixing my shrimp butter that's creamy and delicious on crackers and vegetables. And you know, no Southern sit-down would be complete without my sweet and tangy lemon bars. And then to finish it off, it's my nutty glazed honey bars and strawberry topiaries that are just bound to make an impression. So stay with me, y'all, and keep me company, because it's time to meet the in-laws. Hey, y'all. I have to confess, y'all caught me snooping through my son's drawers. I guess you'll notice that I'm not in my kitchen, but I'm in my son Bobby's kitchen. This is Bobby's loft, and Jamie lives directly above Bobby. And today's show is all about Jamie, because I've got a very special announcement. The old man is finally getting married. And today I get to meet Brooke's mother and father. And we're gonna be meeting in between mealtime, so I just want something light but tasty for them. And I decided that I would make some finger sandwiches. Now I'm gonna mix together 2 containers of softened spreadable cream cheese. And I'm gonna mix this with a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. All right, so I'm just gonna mix this up, and my cream cheese is very soft. And you can see I've got different bowls set up. So I'm gonna start dividing my base for these sandwiches. And I'm not gonna need a lot, because it's just gonna be like the 6 of us. All right, now in this first one, I think I'm gonna add the pecans to it. I love pecans and cream cheese. So we'll mix that up just like that and set that one to the side. And in this one, I love the pineapple in the cream cheese. In fact, here in the South, we eat pineapple sandwiches. All right, so there's our pineapple sandwich. All right, and the next one is our cucumber. So you can see I'm gonna have all different choices, from the sweeter to the savory. And down south we eat a lot of cucumber sandwiches. All right, the last one is gonna be an olive sandwich. And this is just finely minced olive. Okay, now you'll wanna start with some good fresh bread. So I'm gonna just cut my shapes out. And I think I'm gonna mix my breads up. I think I'll do one side wheat and one side white. Your ends of your bread will be just perfect for toppings for casseroles and things like that. So don't think you're wasting this bread, because you're really not. You can use it for so many other things. All right, and let's see. Let's try the heart out. And you'll want to just set it down real hard and then just kind of jiggle. And look, that's a perfect heart. I love it. All right, so let's try the square now. Let's see, I think I'll come over here and use this bread that I already have trimmed for triangles. All right, so now we're ready to start filling them. So I think I'll start with a cucumber. Now you can put as much or as little as you like in there. Normally, a tea sandwich is not stuffed full. All right, now we're gonna go with the pecan. I know this is boring as a mud fence, watching me do this. I know that Jamie will probably be telling y'all this story, and I hope I don't mess anything up by talking about it, but he had been watching this young lady probably for about 6 months. He didn't know her name. He knew that she had a job because every day at 5 o'clock, he would see her leave work. Well, months went by, and somebody finally arranged a little cocktail hour at our restaurant. And Brooke came, and she and Jamie were introduced. And when he met the 5 o'clock girl, he fell head over heels in love with her. He liked her as much close up as he did far away. And they were inseparable from that first date. Now I have several different garnishes for these sandwiches. So I think I'm just gonna dust that one with a little black pepper. All right, so we'll put him right there. Now this is a pecan. I think I'm gonna roll the edges of this one in the crushed pecans that I've got here. Now see how pretty that is? All right, I think that I will do the cucumber in the parsley because kind of green and green. Look how pretty that makes that little sandwich. It took a boring sandwich and really kind of kicked it up. All right, and let's see, now for the bacon. Let's find a pineapple. I think the sweet and salty will be just delicious. Does that look good or what? I think I'm gonna do this one in the poppy seed, and I think I'm gonna coat him all over. Look how pretty that is. I gotta take a quick break, and while y'all are gone, while I'm gone, I'm gonna finish up these sandwiches, and I'm gonna show y'all the most delicious shrimp butter. I think I'm gonna steal one, nobody will ever know. Oh my goodness, bacon and cream cheese.
I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
Hey y'all, we're back, and I'm getting our crackers laid out here ready for our next dish that we're doing, and it's called shrimp butter. We're gonna start with 2 sticks of butter, and I'm gonna take 2 cartons of room temperature spreadable cream cheese, or you can use the block cream cheese. It doesn't have to be spreadable. All right, there we go. Now I'm gonna put some house seasoning, which is the salt, pepper, and garlic. I'm gonna put a little cayenne just to give it a little kick. And I'm gonna put about a tablespoon of sherry. It smells good. Just enough to give it a little kick. All right, pulse that until it's nice and creamy. Now I'm gonna put a pound of shrimp into our cream cheese and butter mixture. And I'm using fresh shrimp that I've boiled, and I'm just gonna pop the tails off. If you don't have access to some good fresh shrimp, just try substituting the canned shrimp. They're packed with flavor. All right, that gets our shrimp. Now I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of lemon zest, because I don't have to tell y'all how good lemon is with shrimp. So that looks like about a teaspoon. So we're just gonna throw that in there. And I think I'm gonna do just about 2 tablespoons of onion. That should be a gracious plenty. Like I said, because I don't want to overpower it with the onions. All right, shouldn't take but just a second. All right, I think that gets it. All right, so I'm gonna transfer this to my piping bag. Now you could roll it up in a log shape in some wax paper and refrigerate it or freeze it and make slices out of it if you wanted to. But I'm just gonna pipe this onto our cracker. All right, now I think I'm gonna put a little pinch of parsley. And I don't know if this will work or not, but I think I'm gonna sprinkle just a little paprika just to kick up that color a little bit. See how pretty? And it was no trouble at all. Down south, every party we have, you can usually find a lemon bar. The recipe has been around for 100 years and they're so delicious. So I'm gonna start this lemon dish with all-purpose flour, confectioner's sugar, and a stick of butter. And with my fork, I'm just gonna blend that butter into our dry ingredients, and then I'm gonna pat it into our pan, and we're gonna bake this for about 15 or 20 minutes. All right, now I've got all this mixed up. And I'm gonna finish it off with my hands. Just make sure that our butter is all mixed in. Now I'm gonna put mine into a pan, and I don't think I'm gonna spray it because there's so much butter in this piece of pastry. Plus I've got a nonstick pan. All right, so I'm just gonna press this down in here and make sure I level it off good. And I bring it up the sides of the pan just a little bit, so when I go to put my lemon filling in it, you know, it'll kind of have something to wrap its arms around. All right, so I'm gonna throw this in the oven and let it bake for 15 or 20 minutes. And when we come back, I'm gonna show you that luscious tart filling that goes in the center and also honey bars. So I'll see y'all back in a few minutes.
I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what recipes or videos you'd like to see me make by just leaving a short comment below. Now, let's get back to the show, y'all.
Okay, I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to finish up these lemon bars because I can't wait to get in them. All right, now I've got my crust here. It's baked for about 15 or 20 minutes. I've pulled it out, and we're gonna add sugar, a little flour, because this is gonna be kind of a loose center, but we want just enough flour to bind it. And we've got lemon juice and 2 eggs. I'm just gonna give those a quick beat. And then pour them in there and mix that together just like that. I love making these because you don't even have to pull out a mixer. So we're just gonna pour that on top, and we're gonna run this back in the oven. And while these are baking, I'm gonna come over here and show you a glazed honey bar, and they're so good. So let's throw this on in the oven. And we'll let that bake, and we'll move on over here. Now this is a dessert that I used to serve on the Bag Lady, and I'm gonna start with a self-rising flour, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 2/3 of a cup of oil, 1/8 of a cup of honey, a little sugar. In fact, it's a 1/2 cup of sugar, and 1 egg. And I'm gonna just give these a quick mix, and then I'm gonna pour in a 1/2 cup of nuts, and we're gonna run this in the oven, bake it in a preheated 350-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. Now I'm gonna give our pan a quick spray. Whoops, was almost about to forget my nuts. I'm in such a hurry. So that's a 1/2 cup of walnuts. I love walnuts in this. So we're just gonna pour this in here. Pop that in the oven. So I want to show you how I finish them off. And these are completely cooled. This is the lemon bars. Now all I do to these is just dust them with powdered sugar. All right, and for my glazed honey bars, I'm gonna make a very thin glaze using a little powdered sugar and one of my favorite condiments in the whole world, a tablespoon of mayonnaise and a tablespoon of milk. Teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm just gonna give that a quick little mix and just pour that over our honey bars. These are out of this world. Well, what you say we cut them? And I'm gonna cut these in fairly small little bite-sized squares so that people will feel like they have room for both. You can see how they're kind of hard for me to cut because of the chewiness of them. Oh, yeah. And they're just popping right out of my pan because it's one of those non-stick type pans. They're gonna just love them. All right. And you can see the way these are cutting, they have a much softer texture to them. And you can kind of see that lemon custard kind of oozing out of them. All right, let's see how those are gonna do. Oh, yum. See that gooey center? I love the corners of a bar type cookie where they're really crispy and crunchy. I think I'm gonna put maybe a little lemon wheel just on the plate. Some fresh mint and some grapes. Just a little bit green for color. And how pretty do those look? I think maybe just a clump of grapes right there. Look how pretty that looks. Mmm. Oh my goodness. Maybe my cooking will make up for my goofiness that embarrasses Jamie sometimes. Mmm. Before I meet the parents, I'm gonna be showing y'all how to make some beautiful chocolate strawberry topiary trees. So I'll see y'all in a minute. In the meantime, I'm gonna clean up.
I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
All right, I want to share with y'all, I'm in a big hurry because, I got to go meet those parents. But I want to show you something that we do for a party that we're wanting to really make a big impression on. And it's fresh strawberry trees. And for this one, I'm using chocolate dip strawberries just to create a little interest. I think you can see the chocolate is so pretty on them. So all we're going to do is start with a good hearty toothpick, and I'm just going to kind of slip that in at an angle and choose a strawberry of my liking. And you'll want to try to make sure that all of your strawberries are about the same size. It will just look a lot more uniform. So you may want to go somewhere where you can hand select your strawberries. And for the top row, I think I'm gonna go with a smaller berry. All right, now I'm just gonna come in here and fill in with some mint. So I hope that when you have an occasion to impress somebody, you'll think back on this little tip that I've given you today, and I think you'll love it. Well, y'all, it's finally here. it's almost time to meet the parents. And I hadn't gone to a great deal of trouble, but I think the trouble that I went to will really impress them, and I think they'll appreciate it, and I think all this will get us in a very relaxed state. I've got the assorted tray of sandwiches and the lemon squares and the glazed honey bars and the shrimp butter, whether they choose to eat it on a cracker or a vegetable. And the topiaries look beautiful, don't they, y'all? And if you're ever in a situation like me where you gotta meet the bride's parents, I hope that you'll try some of these recipes, or even if you're just having friends over. So until next time, y'all, wish me luck, and I send y'all best dishes and love from my table to yours.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.